I believe one of the most important things President Trump can do to this country, for this country, is ignore the rich donors who want to drive down wages and get everybody back to work. Everybody. Here. Do you guys agree with me that your most important lessons learned as a young person, and as a young adult, I think, were the toughest jobs and in many ways the most menial jobs? Do you agree with me? Was for me. I picked blueberries, I picked apples, I mowed lawns, I delivered newspapers, I cleaned houses, I cleaned toilets. But all of us benefit from doing the work of day-to-day life. And I think this idea that, our kids should go do this camp and that camp, that's fine. Camp is great. I went to 2 weeks for a camp once. And, my kids have gone to some camps. But I think America has to get back to first principles. Young people work for what they have. Older people should be respected, cared for, and kept close to their families, not shelved away in some facility. We should celebrate and encourage big families again, families that are vibrant, open to children, and happy for what God provides. These are simple lessons that I learned as a child. And it kind of goes back to fairness and just common sense and all the homespun wisdom we all kind of grew up with. Think about what we, as free and courageous and hardworking and united people, God-fearing people, think about what we can accomplish. We can accomplish unbelievable things for America because the other side, and sadly there is another side, is interested in destruction. They're interested in tearing down our history. They're interested in making us fearful of standing up for what we believe. They're interested in attacking law enforcement and shaking the young people's faith in fundamental American institutions. We must not let that happen. We cannot let that happen. From how we treat our police, ICE, judges, congressmen, senators, doctors, everyone who has earned his or her right to have a profession or to have a job. Treat people with respect. We must get back to that. People say that, sometimes it feels like, we're in the end times. And look, if you've traveled lately on a Spirit Airlines flight, you probably agree with me. The end times can be here. Don't you love those fights on the internet? Like, compiling the fights on Spirit Airlines, that is just a full-time profession. But it does seem like sometimes we've just lost our way, right? The way people dress, the way they speak, the way they talk to each other in front of children. What we celebrate as normal. But it's really not. I mean, every generation has to fight and stand up all anew for what is good and what is beautiful and what is correct and what is America, for our history, for the truth, for understanding. I mean, we all have to do it. I mean, it's not like no one gets out of here with an easy go. That's not what the Bible says. The Bible doesn't say, you're going to be born and life is going to be easy. What we believe, and even if you don't believe in the Bible, what we believe is most of life is a struggle. Remember these times. Remember what you've learned about the so-called experts, how wrong they were about Donald Trump, how wrong they were about his economy, how wrong they were about the real threats that we should be focusing on, climate change or the trans issues. They were all wrong. And on most of these issues, you were right and he was right. And we take lessons from this as we go forward. Think for yourself, ignore the herd mentality, the conventional wisdom that they try to shove down your throat every day, whether it's in movies. They've even ruined Superman, I understand, in movies or on the internet or by some ridiculous professor. Don't go along with the cool crowd. Because I hate to tell you, you guys are the cool crowd. You're it.